Right, are we back? I hope so. Fingers crossed. That was very, very strange. Yeah, not sure what happened there. It's just suddenly lost connection. Obviously, my internet's showing fine, so it must be something on Twitch end. I have to keep an eye on that. Very, very strange. So, anyway, back to it. Obviously, we're talking about obviously rocks around the map. Obviously, you're going to need this guy. And what this is going to be able to do is hook up to your little skid steers. So obviously like your New Holland L318 or your C332, just like that. From what I understand, they only go on your skid steers, but yeah, I don't know what happened there with the internet. That was a bit strange. And what you end up doing is you basically attach it, go to your site where you want to remove your rocks or stones, unfold it, and that's actually going to activate it. And then you're going to actually be able to remove these stones. Obviously, once it's cleared the rock, it's going to basically leave small pebble-like rocks for you to clear up. So obviously you're going to need something to do that. And what they're also adding in is this guy. This is another Volvo. This is the BMLM 841 wheel loader with obviously the shovel attachment there. And what you can actually do is just collect it up as you would normally and then sell it off, make a little bit of extra money. So that is kind of cool. Obviously, that's on the website as well, the Giants website, on the blogs. So there you go. So there's your fact sheets right there. And then obviously, if you want to read it into it a bit more, obviously these will be coming out on the 15th of November. So it's only like what, 2 weeks away? No, a month away, I should say. 4 weeks. Don't want my like. So obviously, if you want to get this and you don't have like the season's pass, come over here, get the DLC. You can buy them separately. It's on here, right there. Just click on the more information. It is going to cost you 19 US dollars, or well, minus a cent or whatever it is. Obviously, one thing, if you are interested, when you go to order it, let me just do this a sec. When you scroll down, obviously it's going to show this right here, the partner code, which is optional. You don't have to add it, but you can if you want. Now, most giant SGA streamers are Giants partners, and we all have our own little codes. So, for instance, if you want to support Dashnet, all you do is in capitals type Dashnet. Oh, without the Y. When you're checking out, okay? Obviously, mine is Alpaca. Boomhauer's is like Boomhauer and so on. Obviously, if you want to support a specific streamer, you are more than welcome to. And obviously, that goes for any purchases on Giants as well. So if you're buying the Seasons Pass and you see that partner code, make sure to enter that just to support your favorite streamer or partner, I should say, really. Obviously, I've been doing Dashnet all the time, so hopefully his numbers will get up there a little bit more. Obviously, one nice thing, obviously, if we are supporting Mr. Dashnet, it's going to give him access, hopefully, to more and more content earlier um, for like future DLCs and stuff like that. Now, why is that kicked into? Hopefully, you guys are still there. But obviously, this will go up on YouTube afterwards. For some reason, my ads have kicked in again. So, with that being said, I need to get into the game now. So, we are going to jump back to FS22 and get going in my game. Come on, come on. There we go. Right then. Now, hopefully, I've got some sound going on here. Let me just make sure that's turned on. It is there. And let me just see, did I turn this right down the other day when I was finished? I did. There we go, hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. There we go. Just had to adjust my headset, so we'll just save that there. Just go and give it a moment. There we go, so hopefully you're back from those ads. Obviously, for some weird reason I had some issues with my connection to Twitch from the looks of it, or my internet dropped for just a split second. Hence, it kicked the ads back in. Sorry about that, guys, but welcome back if you missed that. So obviously, yeah, obviously on the Giants website, go over there, check out the fact sheets. It shows a little bit more about what's coming. Also, the hydraulic ram that's coming. You're currently playing yourself, rolling my field. Right. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Rolling isn't too bad, actually. I quite like it. It's a nice little thing to finish off the seeding process, I suppose is the best way to put it. So, let's have a little look. So, one thing I do need to do is finish off my vineyards. I've still got my grapes to prune and plough and go through, and obviously try and see if I can get the mulching done on the coffee and olives. What else have I done since you guys were here on Wednesday? So, over here, obviously this is one thing I was working on. I've actually gone through, I've actually ploughed the entire lot together, as you can see. Seems to have turned out pretty well. I'm kind of happy with it. I do need to get, oh heck, didn't mean to do that. Get this guy going again, but obviously do need to get him unloaded first of all. So, go grab the other tractor. Hopefully my wheel is actually going to behave itself today. But yeah, farming, one thing I have done, and I've actually removed precision farming now from here. I feel personally, for me, it wasn't what I needed in here. Obviously, it was nice being able to get those additional bonus prices for the game when selling, but it just seemed like I could never hit a high score, really. I was literally averaging mid-70s if I was lucky. So yeah, that's hence why I've just taken it out, and I'll just play without it. Obviously, it may take a little bit longer to get some of the money, but overall I've never really had an issue playing it the old-fashioned way. So one thing I've always, as you can see in the little distance, I'll get to it in a sec. Obviously, I've cleared that entire area where the sheep and the chickens were, and the cows. Obviously, the main farm itself has been changed a little bit, but we'll get this guy going first of all. And let's just tighten that up a bit. That's fine. Tighten that one up. There we go. So let's take a little run over there. Let me put my flight mode on as well, because it'd be easier for you guys to see what's going on. There we go. So obviously at the minute this is all that's basically left, which is obviously my fertilizer, herbicide and seed makers. Obviously once they're emptied out, you moved it ages ago? Yeah. I wanted to at least get a couple of years worth, see if it'd be beneficial. Obviously for me, no. Obviously I know T Miller's running it and he's getting some quite high numbers on Uncharted, so I can see it working there. But yeah, personally me, it just wasn't worth it, yeah. Yeah, it does need a few more tweaks. And I know obviously a lot of the base game crops, or actually most of the crops bar, I think there's cranberries and rice, can be planted in like your silty clay or whatever it is. If it goes anywhere else, it's a lot of trouble. But how you doing, Shy Wizard? Hope you're having a good day so far. Actually, I can get rid of that for now. Nobody's in Discord, so that's fine. But they're more welcome to jump in. But everything sounds good on my phone for now. Viking streaming, how are you doing, buddy? Right, I need to give you a quick. Good, thanks. It's Friday. Yeah, definitely. Let me give you a shout out quickly. Oh, spell. Helps if I spell things right. There we go. Yeah, also, if you weren't aware, T Miller is now actually on holiday, so he's going to be taking a break. But obviously, there is Viking Streaming's link. If anybody wants to go over, give him a follow. He's a great streamer. He's doing a lot of construction simulator at the minute, but also does farm sim and Probably some other stuff, but that's all I've really seen him do recently. You are very, very welcome, bud. Doing pretty good. Not too bad myself. I am glad it's Friday as well, to be honest. Haven't heard nothing from Dave, so I'm not even sure if he's going to be streaming today, but we're just going to carry on as normal. Obviously, it's only going to be two hours today. Tomorrow, I will be back for another 2 hours with my daughter, hopefully. She's feeling a lot better, so yay! Farm to Bank, yeah, I thought it was. Okay, cool. So yeah, check out Viking streaming when he goes live. Definitely well worth it. Obviously, if you jump in and he's speaking a funny language, don't worry. Just say hi, and he'll start talking to you in English as well. Right then, so yeah, as I was saying, obviously the farmyard area has changed a little bit. Obviously this area is now cleared out. Obviously got rid of the sheds, all the trees that were here. The chicken pens have now moved further into the main yard now, which is the other side of the trees. Get to that in just a sec. Obviously the sheep, I took some to the butchers, some to my sheep pens, our farm. The same with the cows. Some went to obviously the butcher. Some went to the rest of the cows. Um, what's with the new hydraulic brake thing? No idea. Oh, the breaker. It's for breaking up rocks on the new map. What you in essence do is attach it to a skid steer, break up these rock formations that are around the map to clear, and then you can get like pebble type rocks from it, which then can be sold. Same like with the stones from the fields here. Same sort of principle, but a different way of getting them really. It's very cool. I'm kind of hoping that we're going to be able to add some of that stuff into these maps as well. I hope they really, really hope that they don't lock them for modders. Um, so obviously my new farmyard area is a lot more opened up. Obviously I've got added the seed, herb and fruit makers here. They will need topped up at some point. I've kept a couple of the sheds, just dropped it down to 2 rather than 3. Sold the bales off that I had, made a fair bit of money, thankfully, which helped pay for all this. Obviously I've smoothed it all off, squared it off, so there's plenty of room. One thing I do want to do at some point is get a silo in the middle here, and then obviously clear this area out. I might keep something like that there, put some sheds in for the vehicles to be parked in. Not sure how I'm going to do this end yet, but obviously I've still got my chickens over here, and they've actually already started to produce. The worst thing is my shelves are just slightly off there, both of them, typical. I'm guessing so, Shy Wizard. I'm guessing so. Obviously on the website, actually I'll just show you again quickly. For anyone that missed it, let me bring it up a sec. Oop. So what? Just in case you did miss it, obviously Fact Sheet Friday is back. Let me bring that across. There we go. Under the blogs. Oh, come on. So obviously this is what Shy Wizard is on about for anyone that's missed it. And what Giants have basically done with the new Silverrun map is added in these little rock formations. Obviously they're going to be flagged like this to say these ones are the ones who need to be removed. It's looking good, isn't it, Viking? It's still a work in progress. Got a few other things I want to get in there, but yeah, it's definitely getting there. Obviously money-wise, that's the big issue. Obviously, from what I understand, these are going to be added to the contract, so you can actually do contracts to remove these. But obviously, if you own the land yourselves, you can remove them as well that way to make way for fields if you wanted to. And obviously, you will need this guy, the Paladin SFB 750, to remove it. And what you do is unfold it and activate it, and that will then allow you to clear these rock areas just like that. And then obviously you get these kind of weird. They actually look like the stone that Dave uses on his maps, the same sort of texture. But obviously it does say that you'll now get a pile of pebble-like stones. So whether it's going to just be a stone as a fill type, or if they're adding a different stone fill type, I'm not sure yet. But obviously they do say that it can just be sold to make an additional money at Stone Crusher. So, but yeah, that's another vehicle that's going to be new. The old Volvo there. It's kind of nice, wheel loader. But yeah, for anybody who wants to check these out, they are on the Giants website there. And same again, you got your fact sheet Fridays there. Covered that a little while ago. Obviously, you got the ones there from last week, and obviously the ones for this week up there. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see about the fill type for that. I imagine probably leave it as it is, just stone. But you never know with Giants. Excuse me. There we go. Just needed a bit of a drink there. Yeah, so obviously I've kept the sheds at the back here for the minute. I'm thinking I might keep this um, little row of trees here and possibly remove these ones. I'm not quite sure yet whether I want to keep them or not. But this area is going to be the main one I want to focus on. I do want to remove these trees, maybe put a hedge or something down and have it as a sort of parking area for my vehicles. So my tractors, combines and stuff like that. Obviously at some point I do want to get another combine really. I do need to go through my animals at some point and clear them out, 'cause I did notice the other day that some of my sheep especially are getting to the age where I can actually start selling them off. So that is currently what I've been up to. Still not sure what I want to do with this grass area yet. Whether I want to make it into a small field or something, or for like sugarcane or something, not sure yet. Maybe. Make a nice little field actually for sugarcane. Perfect, to be honest. So that's that. That's pretty much all I've been focused on the last 24 or 48 hours since streaming. But yeah, so I've taken, obviously, like I said, I've taken precision farming out, so I no longer need to worry about that. I can actually go back to doing it the way I originally liked doing it. Obviously, using the plough without getting any issues, being able to lime whenever I want and stuff like that. So yeah, great fun. And that's something I am going to need to get on and do at some point. Right, I need to take all this off now, because otherwise I'm going to have issues. I'll keep this strong guy on there. Obviously I'm trying to keep things tidy. So one thing I did miss the other day is this. But I'm kind of wanting to focus on really the factories for today. I do need to actually go through and try and get them cleared as much as possible. I do have a couple of them already set to distribute, so that should be fine. The one I wasn't sure if I did or not is the grain mill. Where are you? There. Cool, that's friggin' loud in there, isn't there? So yeah, that's set to distribute, so I don't really need to worry about that. Distribute. You should be on. You same with you. Cool. Right, so that's got. I don't know about you guys, but that seemed really loud in my ear. Well, anyway, so that is going to be obviously going over to the bakery, which does need emptying out. Now, I'm not going to bother with a forklift or anything like that today. I'm just going to grab it and chuck it into storage. Too far up. But there is something new over here that I have added. Where the heck is it? Is it that one? There we go. Which I'll get to in a minute. Yeah, pretty full on oat, bread, rye, bread, and cornbread at the minute. And a few cakes. Come on. I'm sure I left you on, didn't I? No, I didn't. Cool. But yeah, as you can see from my little billboard there, that I've got a heck of a lot to sell. I totally missed the last year's selling on this, so I've got like 2 years worth to sell, which hopefully I'll be able to get round to when they're ready. Right, so if I do it right, I should be able to chuck them there. There we go. Obviously, if any of you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to drop it in chat about the map, or if you're not sure about something, just go for it. I will attempt to answer thy question. But yeah, so hopefully tomorrow, like I said, I'll be back with obviously my daughter, doing probably a bit of Jurassic World again. If any of you guys are interested in it, you're more than welcome to pop in. Obviously, it's going to be 10 a.m. UK time, so Greenwich Mean Time, whatever you call it, GMT, till about midday, which is lunchtime for us. And hopefully I actually get to try out our new microphone for the stream. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, so today's been a bit of a interesting one. My wife has been suffering from a bad shoulder. She can barely lift her arm up. Obviously phoned up the doctor the other day about it. She had to make a chiropractor appointment to have it looked at. Turns out she's got a little bit of swelling in her joints, so they've given her, told her to do some exercises, woohoo, to try and see if it'll ease it up a little bit. Apart from that, that's about it. Obviously, if it's not any better in, I think they said about 5 weeks, to obviously get in contact again. She's like, yeah, thank you. You're absolutely no help at all. Right, so these are 400, two more of them. Now there is a trailer I want to check out. It's seemingly got auto load features. Now the trailers themselves, I've never been able to get them to work in some of the other configurations. So I'm gonna have a little look at something. And it's basically the Brandon trailers. I don't know if you guys got them or not, but I want to see which one it is. Come on, it'd be nice if these spawned out a little bit faster. Obviously, you are going to need the universal autoload add-on script for it as well. It's one of those. Oops, there we go. Did that land? Oh, good shot, almost. Go on, there we go. But we'll get through this first of all, and then we'll have a little look at that trailer. Now, seemingly, there's about 3 different Brandon trailers that are meant to support the auto-loading, or vice versa, I should say. And as yet, I have still not got any of them working. But I just want to see at least one. I was speaking to somebody earlier who said they got it working, so we'll have a little look at that. It's kind of nice using different trailers at times as well. But anyway, how you guys all doing out there today? Obviously, I know Mr. Viking streaming there is obviously in Europe, so he's like an hour ahead of me, so it'll be around about his 6:30 for him in the evening. Must be around about what supper, dinner time, should say, for you. Get one, and the last one, I believe that is. Oh no, one more after this. There we go. Yeah, I'm still not sure whether I want to keep seasons in, or the seasonal cycle running, should say. It's kind of nice. It is more realistic, I suppose. But, I don't know. I kind of just want to get on and play, really. Right, so that's sorted. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, down here, actually check on my clothing. This is one thing I do keep an eye on, that the trigger doesn't get filled up too much. How are we doing so far? Holy cripes. That's going to be another nice little payday. basically 89 pallets are in there to be sold of clothing. Woohoo! Out of curiosity, what's the price at the minute on clothing? I think I've got another month or two before they're actually at their peak. But currently we have 22. Ooh, that's per pallet as well, by the way. Ooh, 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 ooh. Obviously, it will go up to 30. And obviously, that's got 30,000, near 31,000. Ooh, in April. Ooh, I need to keep a close eye on that. That is going to be a one sweet payday. Obviously, I think I've got another couple of days before the bread, I believe it is, becomes ready. Right, so the thing I was going to look at actually is the Brandon trailer. I've got 3 different ones in here. Now, he said he had the 9 axle, this thing. Um, do, 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 do. And I'm hoping it'll be on the. Yep, there we go. So that is very, very cool. And I could actually lease it just to test that out as well. Very, very interesting. That's the first one I've actually found that actually auto-load. I'm not going to change much because obviously it's going to cost extra. Yeah, let's just lease that. Oh, look at that as well. It does come up with universal auto-load on it. Very interesting. However, it does state that you can use it on there as well. Might have to do a little test off screen at that. Something else I wanted to look at. Yeah, it's 6:32 here. Dinner was nice. My daughter and her boyfriend made it, so I just had to sit at the table and chill. Oh, nice one. Very, very nice. Now, I want to see something a sec. See, now that comes up with universal autoload on it as well. Now, I've actually tested this one before, and I've never been able to get it to work, so I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, it actually shows that it does. Unless I did something completely wrong, which is probably a lot more likely. Wow, holy heck, that's loud. And let's detach from that. So we're going to do a little bit of a drive around. Jeez, hopefully that's not too loud for you guys out there. There we go. Oh, and my steering wheel seems to be behaving itself today, which is nice, makes a change. So, there we go. Obviously, one thing, obviously, the last stream I did get coals in as a sell point. Obviously, I've come through, I've added some trees, a little road driving around here, which is kind of nice. I think I'm happy with it at the minute. It'd be kind of nice if we could maybe get some plants or something to go down there. I'll have to have a look at my decoration and see what else there is. I haven't actually driven through here yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping my daughter's going to be the same way when she gets old enough. Starts cooking for us and that. And, right then. Actually, there is one other new addition as well. Obviously, when I was selling all those bales, I was quite surprised at how many was actually there in the sheds by the main farm. Yeah, I had enough to buy a second sell point as well. It's the one straight ahead. So we now have Starbucks in here as well. And obviously what all I've done is I haven't bothered making it like a drive-through or anything like that. I was maybe thinking of putting some like patio chairs or something down the front. But it'd be nice if some of these windows weren't so foggied up and that. You can actually see inside. They're simple at the end of the day. But obviously I can access the unload area here. I can just back straight in or drive straight in and come back out. So yeah, kind of happy with that. That's nice. Actually, I did literally added this afternoon. Obviously, I'm going to now be able to sell, obviously, with coffees. Um, Actually, just out of curiosity, I haven't looked at something now. Because earlier, I think it was yesterday, I was looking through the different prices and stuff and when things were going to be ready. I didn't have fluctuations on there. I wonder why there's no fluctuations showing up on some of these. Because it seems to happen on the coffee. And I'm trying to think, what was it, these? Oh no, they were set up. There was another one as well further down. Ah, that's why, yeah, because these haven't been added in yet to the map. Obviously, these are from Not So Grumpy Dwarf. I'll have to have a look and see if there's something going on in the pricing for them, or they were missed. But anyway, so that's on 6,000. Ooh. Obviously, I haven't got any in storage yet. But it's kind of interesting, the different products. There's nearly like 1,000 less for that. It's like, what the heck? Anyway, that's enough. I do know I do need to do some fertilizing and some weeds removal at some point. Right. So actually, I could actually do that first and then focus on the factories, I suppose. Obviously, it's the last day tomorrow, so I could probably do a lot of this stuff the next in-game day. Just gets attached. And let's see. Don't know. It says unload side U, so yeah, it looks like it's actually working. Oh, we'll have a little look at that later. So one of the main things I do need to get cleared out is of my orchards. So I'm going to send this guy down there. So my orchards are just down the bottom here. So we'll just set it to stop. Where's it beginning? There in it. So just before. While he's doing that, I want to bounce through. Grab. Oh, where is he? Oh, that. Because this guy needs unloading. I'll grab one of the other tractors and actually the herbicide, which is up by the field already. Yeah, can't wait till my daughter's a bit older and she can start actually cooking properly without being supervised and stuff. Oh fudge! Come on, punch it across, punch it across. Nope. Slide across, slide across. There we go. Ooh, it's right on the edge of the thing there. Now in real life that would be all on the blinking ground, wouldn't it? But yep. Go figure. Right then. Right, turn that off. Now, somewhere over here, I do have my harvester there already. Oh, helps from the right screen. And there we go. And I'm going to try and do a little bit of this freehand for today. See how bad I am at steering. But yeah, I've got the greenhouses to clear out. I've got the orchards. They're the main one. Obviously, I can get them into factories where I can. I will. But we'll try and focus on getting this sorted out first of all. There we go. Cripes. bits there. Right, okay. Yeah, she has shown some interest in cooking, but trying to actually get her off her phone long enough. I've even hidden it, and she still freaking keeps finding this old thing. But she'll make her own breakfast and stuff like that. Oh heck. Yes, I can definitely tell I cannot keep a straight line. Alright, let me drop that speed down because it's missing bits as well, and I'm not happy with that. I will leave the weeds turned on though. The only problem is it's going to probably end up going through one heck of a lot of herbicide, but it is what it is. Yeah, obviously I've tried to get my daughter into doing a bit more cooking, but she keeps getting not preoccupied with other things, and then it's usually homework, so I don't know. She's terrible. But she's got a play to go to. It's the end of the month, beginning of November, called a fiddle constables here or something. It's called. I have to grab it in a minute. I'm sure it's a constables here or something. Dang! Don't you hate when you forget what things are called? Let's see if I can bring it up on my phone a sec. Because I was googling it earlier, and it's going to be like the local theatre here in where I live. But the thing is, it's being put on through the school, and obviously they're asking for obviously the parents to pay as much as they can. It's about £20 basically for the actual thing. But we have to supply getting them there and picking them up afterwards. Like, what the heck? You're the one doing it. Why are we having to fork out all the money to pay for the petrol to get there and that? Shouldn't they be putting on like a bus or something? Oh, you can tell I'm Scottish, that's for sure. In my day, obviously the school laid on transport for these type things. Right, I need to get these weeds down here as well. Oh, that's interesting. Oops. There we go. Let's put you back down. There we are. Right, put you back on. Cruise. And there we go. Still having a look. Right, so what's on? Fudge. And then the Spectre calls. That's it. And it's running from the 1st to the 5th of November. And obviously, the school's going to be doing it on the 1st, so yeah, it's going to be late in the evening. That's the only thing I don't like about it. Hey Patrick, how you doing? Yeah, but she's excited about that. Obviously, getting to see something else. She's very much into her theatres. It's about the third time she's been to see a play now. So I don't know. Maybe a future actress or something in her future. Not sure. I know she likes to act up for us. That's for sure. Yeah, but how you doing, buddy? Yeah, so I've got that paid today. Bless her. So she's happy. Yeah, notifications. I'm getting like half a ton of notifications on my phone at the minute coming through. Oop. Just doing a little bit of weed removal at the moment, as you can see. Right. Got that little bit to do. Got the next field to do. try and catch any ones that I've missed. Yeah, so the only thing I've noticed with this case sprayer, if it's going too fast, it will miss bits, and it's right pain in the butt as well. So I just tend to drop that speed down a little bit, just to help out. There we go. That's that. And that'll just be a little, tiny little strip down the middle there that I'll need to hit in a sec. Ask me in 20 minutes when your coffee is ready. Bless you. Yep, I've got my coffee here next to me as well. Actually, in just a little while, about 5 minutes, those ads will probably be getting ready to be run. What I'll do is I'll take a quick break, grab some, probably some juice actually, to hit the last hour. But yep, so just so you are aware, if you didn't catch it, the new trailers are now on the SGA website for anybody to download now. I've also posted the update for the tanker. Obviously it was already up there. The link wise was updated to include obviously the alpacas onto the back of it. Now, because of the size of this field, I'm definitely not going to try and do it free-handed. So let's turn you on and put you there. There we go. And I can pay more attention to you guys in chat. You're doing well though. Yeah, not doing too bad. It is obviously Friday. Woohoo, the weekend! Yep, so all fun and games now for a couple of days. Yeah, so plan for attack for next week in my real life. Obviously we're getting a new... Oh, hey Cowboy Mikes, how you doing buddy? Welcome in. Yeah, so the council are doing some work on all the flats where we live to basically fireproof them a little bit better. Obviously it's our turn next week, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then through the following week we're going to have workers in the flat. One nice thing is they're going to be fitting a shower, so hopefully that'll help my wife out a little bit better for when she needs to have a bath and do her hair and stuff. Right, one thing I will do is probably this end bit myself. There we are, let's turn that off. Oh, yeah, ever since that Grenfell Tower incident in London, for anyone who isn't aware, obviously big tower block over in London in the UK caught fire. A lot of people were killed because of it. Ever since they've been government sort of clamping down, getting local councils to make sure that that sort of thing does not happen again. Dang it. Just leave you there. I need my other truck, which is right here. Hey Gio, no, how's it going, bud? Right, don't need you on there. Yeah, so my bale sheds are nice and full. My cows are coming on nicely up here. Same with the pigs. Let's bring this around. Actually, one thing I'm going to do is take a slight detour in here quickly. Obviously, it might be a little bit laggy around this area. For the simple fact, I've found out that obviously having all these pallets spawning out is not good for your frame rates. Obviously, each orchard will spawn out a maximum of about 40 pallets at a time before it's full. So what's that? 11 by 40, so yeah, a heck of a lot of pallets there to collect up. What I've kind of figured out with the way I've got it laid out is what I'm actually doing is I go in, collect the pallets, and I'll leave them just outside the front, and then come out with another trailer and pick them up that way. Seems so much easier. Obviously, I do have a trailer just over there, next to that orchard, just for this area. Obviously, I just need to bring a tractor down to do it. And somewhere over here, actually I'll probably use that tractor over there this time around. Make sure that you're out of the way, which you're fine. My poplar field that I harvested about a month or so ago is now started regrowing. Obviously this now needs fertilised. But yeah, I do need to get through, sort out some of these glue factories, the drywall and all that. Okay, so let's jump in here. Go grab me tanker. I'll see if I can get that filled up. Let's see, if we go another couple of minutes. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get this guy filled up, and then what I'll do is I'll run the ads, take a quick break, as it's around about this time. Obviously they were reset because that blinking little issue at the beginning. And yeah, I could have gone in the other side as well thinking about it, but oh well, we'll come down this way. But yeah, farmyard is starting to come together. Just need to obviously get that money together for the silo. Obviously, once I get some of the bread sold, the clothing sold. Trying to think what else. There's got quite a lot. Oh yeah, juices as well. Got loads of juice in stock. Storage at the minute, which can be sold off. So yeah. Obviously, I'm going to be losing out now. I wasn't on the bonus due to the precision farming being removed, but I really don't care. Now, I wonder, can this thing unload straight into the tanker? I'm not sure if Dave did it as had that as an option, or let's have a look if I can freaking reverse. So sugarcane and poplar are the only ones that will regrow apart from grass. Chucky. Obviously sugarcane is great for obviously your sugar factory. You can also use it obviously if you're on one of these maps for fuel. I don't know why I'm going to the liquid fertilizer. But yeah, it does not want to unload with the trigger. Interesting. Or load up with the trigger there. I want the herbicide. Yeah, so sugarcane and poplar and obviously good old planted grass. There we go, that's a little bit better I think, maybe, we'll see. There we go. See. Yeah, I cannot steer backward for some reason with a wheel. I have to do it with the keyboard and mouse. There we go. No worries, buddy. Yeah, everything else has to be replanted, unfortunately. The only other one I think in real life that would regrow is probably cotton, but for some reason in-game wise, they've sort of disabled that. Right, let me set that to spawn. Oops. Okay, there we go. Set that to spawn to be easier. Change spawning. There we go. Give that a second. There we go. Actually, could do with repairing my truck and trailer here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. If you want realistically, no. Or a realistic planter, not really for sugarcane. If you don't mind something that's a little bit unorthodox and different, on the SGA website, I've got a few different seeders set up that will do all the different crops, as you can see there. So obviously you got the John Deere 1775 NT there. There's also, and I don't think I've got it in here. No, I don't. A planter, one of the Kenzie setup. Now there's probably two different types depending on what map you're on. One is set up for the PV maps and one's set up for like base game maps, and each of them will do the obviously all crop wise. Obviously the base game one will just do what's on the base game um, crops, but obviously then you got the one with the PV crops as well. So just have a look on the website, and to be honest, if you've got a seeder or a planter that you quite like, maybe like a DB120 or something, if you have a look in the XML, it'll give you an idea on how to edit that seeder or planter as well, Chucky, to do all the different crops. You just sort of copy it across. Uh, they should do. Let me just. How you doing, Deaf Gamer? By the way, sorry. So sugarcane right there. Yep, definitely does sugarcane, and obviously they're all set up pretty much the same. Obviously that's the PV version of it, hence the PV on it. Hydrate, much appreciated. Yep. There you go. Thank you for that. Now, how much capacity does that thing have? Thinking about it, because I don't want to be taking tons and tons and tons over and finding out it doesn't hold much. Not beyond the fert. Where are you? Where are you? That one? Yeah. Not much really, so that should be more than enough now. Yeah, I've basically set those seeders up, or planters, should say actually, to do everything. But yeah, I'm not doing too bad, Deaf Gamer, apart from jackknifing with this truck. It's the only thing I found with this truck, it does jackknife a little bit too easy. There we go. But yeah, not too bad. How are you doing? So I'll go get this guy filled up, and then I'll... Maintenance level low. Yeah, no. I'll get it sorted out later on. To be honest, I haven't really been using this truck that much recently. Mainly because I've been using the Mac trucks that I've got. Hey Jaren, how you doing? Welcome in. I'm going to try and take a quick break in a minute, run the ads. Oh, excuse me. Then that will set us up for the last sprint to the end. Here we go. Hey, Mr. Zippy, how's it going? Oh, look, see, it was supposed to flicking buoyed there. Dang it. I'll get that later. And oh, why not drive on the freaking field, dummy? Right then. Fun and games, fun and games. One thing I'm kind of shocked at is you don't get weeds in planted grass fields. It's very, very strange. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, I say. Perfect. Right, let's get this last little bit done, and I can start on the hired helper. You guys can watch him while I take a quick break. See, it keeps missing bits. I don't understand why. I think it's just gone far too fast. There we go. Let's turn that off a sec. But yeah, have any of you guys had weeds growing in your planted grass fields? Out of interest. Just need to get that a bit there. That's fine. Turn that off because I can probably set him off himself. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I am not having any John Deere on my farm this time around. I'm trying to actually use some of the ones that don't really get used that much. See, it's missed that one as well. Let's see him back up for a sec. That must be on the grass itself. Okay, good to know. So let's put that on hard helper. You've got a question on the PV mods in construction menu under power. Building takes wood and wood shapes, so it goes through the wood shapes and wood rapidly. Yep, I've noticed that as well. I think it's set a little bit high, personally. And obviously, what you're on about there, Mr. Jaren, is the bio one, aren't you? PV power. This guy. Yeah, I think what Dave's done with it is obviously with the wood chip and the trees, they're meant to process quite quickly, whereas obviously like your straw and your peanut shells take that a little bit longer. Yeah, obviously it kicks out electricity a lot faster, that is for sure. But yeah, I think obviously I know Dave played with it. He's I guess happy with how it is, so it is what it is, unfortunately. Obviously, you can go in if you think it's a little bit too high and adjust it in the XML. Obviously, there are not going to be any more updates, obviously, to the map as far as I'm aware. But what I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to run some ads, take a quick break, guys. I'll leave you with this guy for now on the intermission screen. There we go. And I will obviously be back in a couple of minutes' time. Alrighty guys, I am back. That one. There we go. How's he doing? Missing pieces, what a surprise. Hey, dude's a nuisance. He is. But I'll leave him to do that. But yeah, I'll have to get him topped up in a minute. Obviously the truck is at the far end, so that's fine. There we go. Thank you very much, Viking, for the welcome back there. Right, jump out of you while you're doing your reversing. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Yeah, so my little trick with the orchards is kind of a nice little one actually. So you use a tractor and trailer and auto-load them out. Hey NBC, how you doing buddy? Or just send it to me, yeah. To be honest it's an easy edit, so... Actually, sugar beet cuts are empty. One thing I do want to do is replace this bucket with something a bit easier to use. Actually, let's detach that. Oh, Chucky, you mentioned to Darius about how you do your sugar beet cuts, and thank you for the shout out for NBC there, guys. Yeah, obviously you mentioned the Flegel bucket, if you're still there. And it's this one just here, and all you have to do with it, obviously this is base game front loader bucket. You fill it up with your sugar beets. See, this is just the base game one, so 2300 litres is going to be the capacity for it. You can put this over a trailer or, well, heck, a tipper if you wanted to. Obviously, I'm just going to load it straight into the trigger. So it's right about there, and then B to turn on. Obviously, it's going to chop them up into your sugar beet cuts straight into the trigger or trailer or whatever. So obviously that's one option. Yep, you're there. Another option is on the website under my, Big Daddy. There is a trailer similar to that one in front of me there. That you can put your sugar beets in, and it will unload the sugar beet cuts. But also under my mods themselves, there is the root crop harvester, and obviously that does have a sugar beet harvester, or sorry, sugar beet cut harvester in it as well. It'll basically harvest your sugar beets as normal. Obviously that goes on the back. Obviously you will need the topper on the front, but it'll unload the cut versions straight into your trailer if you wanted to do it that way. Um, I'm not sure if it's still there, but Big Daddy, I'm sure, did a harvester that unloaded the cut version. One of these guys. I might be wrong, but I'm sure he had one set up so as it unloaded, it'd do the cuts on there as well. But have a look on the website. But that's going to be your main options for sugar beet cuts. Apart from that, I do believe that there is placeable on the in-game mod hub as well. That will do it for you. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good, NBC, pretty good. I'm kind of all on me lonesome in Discord at the minute. Oh, right. It's very strange not having Dave here. That is for sure. Yeah, so what I tend to do... Oh, that's not got that many spawned out yet, but I'll grab all of them out anyway. I'm going to clear all these orchards out, get them into the factories that need to go. Attach you. And for anyone interested, this is actually the base game Brentner trailer. if you haven't seen this, this is this guy. Nope, not that one. Which one is it? This one, I should say. I've got 3 of these actually currently. And if you set it to the bale trailer configuration and you're running the universal autoload script, you can actually auto load with it. So that's one you can use. I'm pretty sure that is it that one? No, because that can't be configured. Just having a little think. Configuration. That one will also work. Basically, anything that can be a trailer or like a bale trailer like this with a flatbed should work. Obviously, that can, because obviously you can have that as a little 1 or 2 pallet loading if you wanted to. What else was in here? If I can remember. Obviously, there is some mods on the in-game mod hub you can actually set up and use the autoload add-on script for. I've actually now got this one to work, and I believe that one should work as well because it's basically the same pack. As far as I'm aware, this is meant to as well, but as yet, it's not coming up on there. Let me just have a look. Yeah, that's not either. I'm sure they said there was about 3 or 4 different trailers. I think it was the R one. That was the R. Yeah. See on the list it says the R line one trailers, and yeah, that is not working. Let's have a look at this a sec. See that says it should auto load. I actually go and test these later on on my test map and see if these are actually working or not, and I'll let you guys know, which is very interesting. So obviously, like I said, if you got the universal autoload script, obviously you can use it on those. The other things as well, obviously these guys, the low loaders, the base game ones, you can do all 4 of them as auto loading. And the other one is obviously the Cron Profiliner as well, base game. I'm not sure if they added that in or not, I can't remember. Possibly that one does as well, because that's a flatbed type thing. So, yeah. There is a whole list of base game ones and mods that you can actually set up to auto load. Right, so that should be empty, yeah, on the capacity. Yeah, so I've got them all set up to spawn the pallets out. Obviously that is going to affect your frame rate, so one thing I would suggest to anyone with the orchards, if you're a bit unsure, just keep them on store and then pull them out when you're needing them. Obviously just bear in mind that the capacity for the orchards is quite low. There's that. As that other, just thinking about that, as that Brentner, oh heck tree, should come up there, because that Brentner, the rear one trailer is technically auto load, it should be able to come in here as well. I'll be able to grab a few more. Might test that in a sec. I think I can get one more row in here. I'm trying to think if it's 20 or 24. It is 24. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need a slightly longer trailer with these. Oh. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll drop these down just outside. And make sure I'm on the right side. Right, yes. There we go. You forgot your coffee after sitting down. Wow. So what is needed for the orchard? So obviously with the orchard you're going to need water and compost initially to get them going. Obviously for the bonuses wise, if you add solid fertilizer, solid lime, and herbicide. There you go. You can actually see everything. That is what you're going to get. Obviously, you're going to need to add pallets as well to get them up and running. But yeah, as long as you add your water, your compost, and your pallets, that will get them up and running. And obviously, to boost them, actually, if I go into the menu, it'll be easier to show you. So water, compost, pallets. Obviously, that's going to get them going. But obviously, if you want to get the boosted line, so it's basically going to produce more faster. And that obviously you can add your fertilizer, your lime, or your herbicide. Obviously 50-50-50. Obviously I've got them maxed out on here. Yeah, so definitely well worth doing that. Same with the greenhouses as well. The big one, if you've got them down. Yeah, no problem, Bad Farmer. How you doing, bud? How is Grand Theft Auto doing? And obviously, if you're not following Bad Farmer, make sure to click on his link, give him a follow. He's been doing a lot of Grand Theft Auto, sort of role play type stuff recently. If you're into that, definitely check him out. Oh, there we go. Let's get you. And let's grab them. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. And let's see if I can get these lined up. Yeah, I might try out that other trailer a sec, just to see how tight that is to get around. The one that's on the rand on there. There we go. See, that's not too bad with that sort of size trailer. How it's going to act with a slightly bigger one, I don't know. So let's leave you there a sec. And, oh, look at all that universal stuff. And not a single warning or error in my log. Cool. I'm hoping this guy's going to be able to... Oh, it's one of those, is it? Dang it. Okay. Might not be able to do it with this one, because it doesn't have the right connector there. But we can bring this in anyway. See if this one actually works or not. It should. Obviously in the store it's showing for auto load option. So let's give it a try. So cherries. Let's open. Stop you. Start loading. Ah, ooh, it is. Whoa, cool. Nice. So that definitely works. But that must be about the same sort of size as the one I've been using. So pain in the butt. You're back on FS19 at the minute. Need my help. Okay. Well, obviously, if you want any help, you're more than welcome to drop it in chat as well. There we go. Right, let's turn that off actually for a minute. Oops. That key. Yeah, so I think I'll be sticking with this then for the minute. I was kind of hoping that I had a different connector on the... I suppose I could always go up and get a dolly and do it that way, but... Well, if I can get some of those other trailers working, it'd be nice with the autoload script that they say. Because one thing I did notice on their lists, obviously it's mentioned about the odd one. It says, I think I'm pretty sure it was that one. I'm sure they mentioned this was on there as well. for autoload capabilities, but obviously if you come through the configurations, it doesn't say anything on here. And that would be a nice trailer actually if it had the autoload option added to it. Obviously that's quite a nice sized little trailer there, and obviously it does have the dolly connected to it, so maybe something they're working on at the minute. But anyway, I'm just gonna have to carry on with this guy for now. Right, so thinking, right, vodka, obviously that's quite nearby, which takes cherries. Just trying to think what else was in here. So cherries I can grab, 20 pallets. Okay, so I can get rid of that back trailer's worth. Orange, peach, and watermelon. Okay. Orange, peach, watermelon. Actually, let's unload that there. Cool. Oranges, peach, and watermelon. So watermelon is obviously greenhouses. And I've got to figure out which one's the... Nice apples there. Needed some sort of sign on the front of these things to say what they are. That one is pears. That looks like oranges there. Yep, there's oranges. Right, so we'll grab a trailer's worth of that, and then we can transport them up. Be nice to actually get the vodka factory up and running, finally. I have to check on the guy doing the herbis. The weeding. And that it did spawn a couple out. Okay. How much is stored there then? Okay, a few extra pallets there. Let me just grab that. Grab that. There we go. Six more. Whoa. Two more. It'd be nice if I knew a little bit more about the autoload script, so we could actually maybe edit some of these trailers to actually work a little bit nicer, so they maybe spin the pallets around, so you get more on the trailer right up to the back. It'd be kind of nice. Right, let's come in cab, be easier to see. There we go. I do have the critter sound. It was actually updated. Oh heck, just the other week as well. I think it's just adding in some additional animal sounds. I like it, and obviously you do get obviously like fireflies and stuff in the evening as well. Right, so we have plums. We've got apricots. What did I say needed? Peaches. Okay, so peaches I need out of here. It's going to be bananas. Peaches, that one. Okay. Yeah, I like that critters mod. Obviously, it adds in different sounds, and obviously the fireflies. Makes it a lot more Americanized, I suppose is the best way of putting it. The map. Right. Beaches. Right, let's get a decent amount going, because I think I've got some storage as well. Let me just double check. Yeah, I got 4 pallets worth there in the storage, so we'll just sit here for a sec. Come on in, start spawning. There we go, there's one. Yeah, I think one mod I think I would like now brought back from 19 is obviously the variable spray mod. It allows you to adjust how much you're using. Obviously, if you're not using precision farming, you can go through quite a lot of fertilizer and herbicide, I've noticed. Obviously, that's going to be one thing I need to definitely keep my eyes on now that I've removed precision farming. One more. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can squeeze on through here. It's kind of a shame you can't make these a drive-through version. That'd be kind of cool. Drive on one side, drive straight out the other. Pick up on the way. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-bum. For some reason I've got, I don't know if you guys remember it, Inspector Gadget from the 80s and 90s. Got the tune stuck in my head for some reason. There we go. Right, so you're fine for now. So that's what I need from here. Obviously I do need to grab some watermelons from the greenhouses. Why did I remove precision farming? Personally, I wasn't really getting a lot out of it. Obviously, yeah, okay, it was nice having the bonus for the selling, but overall, crop-wise, I didn't really see much of a difference. And it did seem to be a bit of a hard work, really, getting the stuff up scored, as it were. Obviously, I had it in here for on this save game for about what 3 in-game years, and the highest I was able to really get was about 75. Go go gadget copter, yeah, there you go. You remember it. Yeah, so obviously apart from obviously that bonus that I was getting when I was selling, that was the only reason I had it in here, or kept it in here, I should say, really. So I thought, well, what's the point in having something in there that I'm not really going to benefit from it, apart from obviously that money. So yeah, I just ended up removing it today, and yeah, obviously still I'm in an iron about the season cycle at the minute. I really want to get some of these factories up and running, so to actually basically show you guys who haven't got that far yet what they're going to be like when they're actually running, and see the pallets spawning out, and yeah. Obviously in 19 I never really used seasons, the actual mod itself. I think I did it for about, well, at least one in-game year on PV County. That was it. Hey Imperial Gamer, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, that was the whole point. I just wanted to see if it would benefit me, and to be honest, not really. How do you spell your name? Imperalgamer double underscore. Hey, I got it right. Right, guys. If you're not following Imperial Gamer, obviously he is an SGA member. He's our newest member. Make sure to go over there, give him a follow, guys. We've been doing a lot of construction simulator recently. He also does farm sim and some other stuff as well. You are very, very welcome, buddy. Obviously, go over there, show him some love and support, like I know you guys will. Um, it was just really the overall score. Most of my fields over this area, the score was like up 90, 100, but obviously around the map it was just a nightmare for me, to be honest. But at least I wanted to get it in, try it out at least. I'm always willing to give things a try if I can. But yeah, I just felt it just seemed like a little bit of work and stuff um, to get those scores up. So yeah, I just ended up removing it today, like I said, and then yeah, I'm just gonna carry on how I used to play, I suppose is the better way. Obviously, I'm going to keep the seasons for the minute running. Whether it stays, I don't know yet. This is the nice thing, obviously, having a half decent PC. You can actually run some of these additional mods. And what's that catching on? That little corner right there. Oh, and I'll have a look at your comment in a sec. Up. There we go. Did you get anything out of the Prime sale? Nope. Nothing at all. Yeah, unfortunately, this is our low week for money, so it came at the completely wrong time for us. uh, there we go. Obviously, if you guys haven't seen this, this is one of the factories. Actually, a little bit loud there. That was has the palette visuals added to it now. Let me just turn this down a wee bit because it is a little bit loud in here. Hopefully, you can actually hear me now. So, obviously, up here on the first level, you will have your sugar pallets now spawning in when they come in. It's not much, but it's a little something to start off with. I think I've kind of set it to the same as what the capacity is, about 20 pallets for each product, I think it is. Obviously on the upper level, you now have, obviously, pallets showing for your cranberries, for your cherries. I was trying to think what the difference were. Yeah, that's cherries, obviously that's your cranberries, your oranges. I've got some oranges up here already, okay. Oh, did I just bring them up? I think so. Must have done. Ha! Okay. And then obviously along from that is going to be obviously palette visuals for um, peaches as well. Oh, yeah, sorry. It wasn't a particular field. It was just the overall score I felt wasn't going up high enough for me. Suppose is the best way. And obviously the only reason I really had it was obviously for the bonus. So yeah, I just ended up taking it out. Oh fudge. The only problem is when you're coming out of a corner a little bit too quick, you can jackknife. There we go. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I can carry on doing it the old-fashioned way and work. Oh, for crying out loud, will you stop it? Flip sakes. Actually, while I'm here, I'll fill him up. I am having a really bad day with steering on here. To be honest, I've only got well, that field there on the other side there, that's pretty much the only field I've got, I think. Yeah, this is one grass field, and then I think it was just these here are grass. All the rest is crop. But for some reason, my score just will not go up any higher than 75 this time around. I think I just had it. I think I had it once about 80, 81, and then obviously it came to the end of the season and it dropped right down. So I thought, oh, bugger it. But even before I just removed its date, it was only on 75. And look, this thing is freaking ridiculous. I am so sorry, guys. I'm going to have a right rant now because of this thing. It's missing bits. What in the heck? I might be turning off the weeds as well in a minute. I think the biggest issue as well is obviously I'm kind of limited on my time. this guy's freaking useless. He's missed an entire row there. Holy crap. So that is probably one reason why I kind of want to just get on, get these factories going, up and running. And I think because obviously having the seasons and precision farming, it's kind of a pain in not, to be honest. Come on, back up, back up. Where are you? There. Yeah, so I think I'm still umming and ahhing about the seasons thing, because it is nice to be honest. But at the moment, it's not really benefiting me or my time I'm on here. Obviously, at the minute, I'm only getting maybe a few hours a day to actually get it on in game, and it's usually in the evening when my wife's asleep. Ah, freaking heck, you are useless, hired helpers. One thing I do hope that they do is improve the hired helpers at some point, even if it's the next game, because this is ridiculous missing all these. One there, there's a spots down here. My goodness. My goodness. But yeah, it's like Shy Wizard said earlier about it, is it does need some tweaking here and there. It's like the base version, you can only well, to get the best crop or yield off of a field, is to have it in like I'm trying to think of what it was. Is it sandy loam or clay, something like that? Every crop is in just one type of. It's kind of like, what is the point then in having all these other soil types, type thing? So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Sandy loam, I think it was. Was it sandy loam? Clay. Can't freaking remember which one it was now. But it was like one of the bases anyway. Ooh, it's not getting rid of that one. Right, so I think should be around about here. But yeah, I think what we need if you're not using the precision farming is like a variable spray mod bag. So they had one in 19, and as yet I don't think they've released one for 22. I'll have to have a look maybe. Come on, get rid of it. There we go. Yeah, time consuming. Yep, definitely. And I know one thing. Obviously, this is on like a 4x sized map. Um, and yeah, time is kind of very pushy for me. Like I mentioned, obviously I am a full-time carer for my wife, and obviously evenings are when I tend to play games and that. Are you not going to hire a helper? There we go. For some reason it didn't go on. Oh, one sec. My daughter needs help with a milk bottle. There you go. There's that. And oh, fudge. That is really annoying. Do you want to say hello to everyone? Well, you can say hello to them tomorrow instead. Yeah. Right, that goes in the bin, and that's on loosely, so be careful. Alrighty. Bless her. Yeah, she's making a coffee from the looks of it, so. Oh, nice. That's one thing she is good at, actually, is making coffees, guys. My little munchkin. But yeah, I am actually seriously thinking of actually taking out the seasonal cycle, or at least turn it off for a little while. Really want to try and get some of these last few factories purchased and in on my map. Obviously, while being kind of restricted with planting on it certain times of the year, it's a pain. How old is she? She's 13 years old, so she's now legally able to come on Twitch with a supervisor. So obviously on Saturdays, if anyone wasn't aware, she'll actually stream. Turn everything off. Yeah, I'm considering it. Obviously, I do like doing the ploughing and the liming. That is one thing I've always enjoyed doing, even on like PV County. That was one thing I always kept enabled. This time around, obviously, I have pretty much added everything, or had everything turned on, just to see how the game will run. Um, but yeah, it's like, I'll see what I feel like over the weekend. Obviously, I'm coming to the end of my year 11, and I really wish that we can hit those spots. I'll come through in a minute and get them anyway. Um, yeah, I'll see what I'm like over the weekend. So, obviously, end of the year for this is coming up. So, I'll probably finish off the year with seasons, and then as January kicks in, I may end up removing it. And, yep, these hard helpers definitely need some friggin' work. Oh my goodness. Right then. Does this have spot spraying on? I thought it always did. Fold, unfold. Maybe not. Okay. For some reason I thought this had spot spraying on it, where it only hit the certain sections. Maybe that wasn't added to it this time around, but it's only with like precision farming. Intriguing. Yeah. Definitely considering now taking the seasons off for the minute, or I want to keep calling it seasons because that's how it was in 19. The seasonal cycle, or whatever it's called now. There we go. It does reset in August, however, the obviously I've already got my grains planted, so I could easily just carry on. So I could even just turn it off now, to be honest. Oh, fudge! Here you go. Thank you, my dear. Say hello to everyone. Dang you. One of these days she'll be a better off person, I think. Less shy. Right, let me just see if I missed any more up here. There's one piece just there. Okay, I think I'm going to be turning weeds off because this is freaking ridiculous how to go up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. Yes, I'm kind of having a bit of a whingy Friday, I think, as well today. Sorry, guys. I should be less whingy and just enjoy it. There we go. That's not too bad because I've already done that part there. Oh, crash into a wall. So it should just be this last strip up here to get. Yeah, I'm definitely considering now taking the seasons out. Obviously, it's going to be able to allow me to actually harvest whenever, sow whenever. I'll leave the ploughing definitely on because I do like doing the ploughing side of things and the liming. As for the rest of it, I think like everybody else, I'm kind of getting a bit fed up with it as well. There we go. Yeah, so just out of curiosity, guys, this is for everyone really. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but obviously knowing that was like a month away till the next DLC, obviously it's going to be the Platinum expansion comes out. Also, we've got the um, Silver Run map coming with it, along with a load of new equipment, like 40 pieces of equipment coming. How many of you are actually currently feeling burnt out with Farm Sim and finding that you're actually playing different games a lot more? I know this week myself I've been playing a lot of Farm Sim, um, mainly just to try and catch up on stuff that I've kind of neglected, I suppose is the best way to put it. I think that's most of it. There we go. That will do, I think, for this field to sod it. Hopefully I haven't got any more that needs doing. One, two... Yeah, I don't think I've got any other ones. It's got weeds. That one, that. That's currently planted. That's caked in it, but that's not planted anyway. Yeah, so I can get away with the rest of them. I want to add a couple of fields planted. More satisfactory on the streams. Maybe. I know one or two people would probably be happy with that. That is for sure. I think that my biggest issue, obviously, with seasons, or I keep wanting to just call it season, the seasonal cycle in precision farming. Obviously, in 19, when they came out, I never really ran them that much, due to the fact, obviously, at the time I was actually like running the game on um, an i3 laptop, a very low spec one too, and I was enjoying it, regardless of obviously being able to see the having the graphics set right down low. Obviously, yeah, it's like Mr. A lot of people are doing a lot of construction simulator at the minute, or um, Satisfactory. I know I take a little bit of a break every now and again. Actually, that's one thing I might do after this stream. Actually, is boot up my Satisfactory. Didn't do much after Saturday stream last week on there, so I need to catch up. You got burnt out on Farm Sim, but I'm also on console and wish the game was more like Dave's maps, more interactive. Yeah, that is a big thing, obviously, with being on console compared to obviously PC. With the PC one, there is a lot of scripting that we use on here. For instance, the revamp mod itself that allows us to actually do a lot of the factory side of things a little bit different to what you guys already have on there. In addition, obviously the field type limits and stuff, or the limit breaker, that's another big one that obviously we're using. Obviously that can't go on PC, unfortunately. Seasonal cycle, most map tends to be the same in the crops. Yeah, one thing I would like, and they did remove it. And I know, I think a few people have mentioned about it, is being able to do like crop rotation more and actually get a better yield from that. That would be kind of a cool idea. Did I take it out here? I did. Yeah, that would definitely be a nice idea. But obviously, that was I think I'm sure base game 19, to be honest. But obviously that was something that was removed, and it's like, well, why? Bring it back. That was a cool feature because that then actually made you think, okay, this time around I'm going to be putting this like barley in this field. Um, Obviously, next crop I would need, I don't know, say soybean for example, to get a better yield out of it, or this like a grass or something, I don't know, grain crop and then potato, grain crop, potato type thing, rotating, and that was a nice idea. I liked that, and that's something that they took out. Um, keep moving maps, keep it fresh. Yeah, obviously different maps. If you want to change things up, you could obviously easily go into a different map. Unfortunately, there's nothing like a DashNet map. That's the problem out there. There is so much in. I know there is some copycats out there who create maps very similar to DashNet map, but it's not a DashNet map. What's I going to do? Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. The truck, wasn't I? Up the top here. That I jackknife temp. Oh look, I even missed some. Look at that. Dang it! I'm just going to turn the weeds off. And I'm going to do it right here as well while I'm live. Sod it. Right. Weeds. I just seen it a minute ago. Where did it go? Turn that one off. I'm going to keep the lime on because I do like doing the lime. I'll keep the field stones on. I do like doing that as well. I can actually get stones from obviously the mines on here. Periodic plowing I'll keep on. Crop destruction can stay off. Snow can stay on. That's fine. That's fine. I am going to turn you off. I will put the traffic back on actually. Economy easy. Because obviously I am turning that off, I'm going to put it to normal. Obviously that is going to affect my gameplay a little bit. And I'm going to do that right there. That is obviously going to be my settings from now on. I couldn't wait for the weekend, I just thought I'd freaking do it now. Oh my goodness. Yep. So going forward, obviously I can get the rest of the fields now planted without any restriction. I can get in there, do some liming on some of those new fields that I've just expanded. But obviously I am going to visually still have obviously see the seasons look to it, the game. Because I do like, that's one thing I do like, and I think Giants have done an amazing job on it, is obviously with the transitions through the seasons. I do love seeing these orange colours coming through, the reds and stuff. It does literally feel like it's autumn on the map. Also, when you hit winter, then you get your snow. But yeah, I think we'll leave it for that now. How it is. See how we go. I'm hoping that I totally went the wrong way. I'm hoping this doesn't need any weeding. Shouldn't do it now. I just turned the freaking thing off. But yeah, I was meant to pick up those peaches, wasn't I, guys? Yeah, obviously, buildable bridge factories and that in 19 was a big thing. A lot of you guys love and are missing. Obviously, to a degree, we're hoping to get some of that back with obviously Dave's new map. How exactly, what extent, that we don't know yet until obviously Dave's back and has actually started having a look at that. Whether he's during his time off, he's had a look into that, I don't know. So I was kind of hoping he'd be popping in today to give us an update on how he's doing, but yeah, it's worth a try. Hopefully he'll be around, maybe in Discord or something later, I don't know. But for today, it looks like no Mr. Dashnet again, unfortunately. Oh, have something on the right trailer. But boss, if you're out there lurking away, we love you. Come back to us. There we go. Oh, so that's how it hooks up. Okay. Interesting. Right, so let's go drop this lot off, and I think that will probably do it for today. We've got about 9 minutes before the ads kick in, but I don't mind going a few minutes longer. There we are. Hey, Cowboy Mikes, how you doing? Welcome back in. But anyway, guys, as we've got the last few minutes, what are you guys up to this weekend? Anything exciting? Obviously, me personally, I know tomorrow morning, for me, myself and my daughter will be streaming again.
Billy is a nuisance. He will be gone in 2 weeks. I apologize for this inconvenience.
I love that walk on, it is so cool. It could mean any Billy, and thank you Yoppies as well for the walk on. There we go. Yep, so obviously we'll be back tomorrow, so it's going to be 10 a.m. GMT time. So that's, I don't know, 10, about 5 Dajnet time. For most of you, I know most of you will probably be still asleep for that. But if anyone wants to pop in, you're more than welcome to. It's probably going to be a bit of Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is the game she's mainly been showing off. Oh, let me get that brought around. There is another game I actually want her to check out. Haven't actually had a chance. Mr. Jababble mentioned about it the other day. What trailer is that you're using? So this is one of the Randon. This is the 9-axle trailer. It's on the in-game mod hub. I'm using the Universal add-on mod for it. It's the first one I've actually been able to get to work. It's this one here, but the 7-axle one should work as well. There is some of these other ones, like the... I think it was that one. I'm sure it's that one, it said. When you go into the store, if you go to the flatbed option... Yeah, that doesn't. At Linex, thank you very, very much for your resub for 7 months. Much, much appreciated. Yeah, in-game mod hub, Cabo Mics. Was it that one or that one? Yeah, so if you look at here, when you go to like the bale tray or the flatbed part, it should come up with universal auto load. As long that should technically allow it to auto load bales and pallets and stuff. Now the only problem is, on their list, the R liner one, this one here, is meant to be able to auto load as well, and I have not been able to get these to work yet. This is the first ones I've actually been able to, or at least this one, because that's the one I've got, been able to get to work. Obviously, you've got a bale trailer there. It says it should auto load with the sides on. Same with the lower one and the flatbed. But this is the one that I'm currently using at the minute. Kind of want to check it out and see. The nice thing is you can obviously detach them if you wanted to, and then reattach later on. Wow, holy heck, that was a bit delayed. And thank you very much for the 50 bitties for the jump scare there at Linux. But yeah, how you doing, buddy? Just going to wrap up in just a little while. Just need to try and get this unloaded first. I'm surprised my wife and daughter haven't come through saying, "Come on, get your butt off of there. Got things to do." There we go. There we are. Lovely jubbly. So one thing I do want to try and do if I can is get let me get out of here because it's quite loud in here. On that wall is to have the displays set up again. There we go. You try and start on PV again. Alright, okay. Right, let me just see if I've got enough now. Obviously you got your pallet visuals outside for your empty pallets as well. What else do I need in here? Stuff from the government building, watermelon, which I'll go grab in a little while. But apart from that, I can actually activate most of these now. Apart from that watermelon. Oh, might as well do the whole lot. There we go. Ooh, hello. Oh yeah, I remember what that is now. So obviously that will pump on through in a minute. And start producing my vodkas. Yay! Let me just up that time a little bit. So kicks in. So in case you guys weren't aware, obviously, in addition to obviously the stuff on the inside, obviously in here, some visual for the pallet outputs will obviously start spawning once you get to about 1,000 litres and so on. Up to about 20 pallets. One thing that was fixed as well is the pipe here when loading into a trailer for your compost. It's actually now working properly. There we go, let's close that. That's freaking loud in there. But yeah, that is going to be it for today, guys. So let me just save the game there. I will finish that off in a wee while. And I'll go over to the ending screen, and I need to find someone to raid into. So, first thing I want to do is do some shout outs to everyone. Well, actually, it's only really at Linux there for that resub for today. I had no follows, nobody raiding in. God, it's a quiet day today. Oh my goodness, I am definitely having a fun old day of it. But yeah, joys of being a Friday. Right, so who is out there at the minute? We have Mamadou53. Oh, she is such a lovely lady, she is. Gamer Dragon out there. Wow, holy heck. I am getting few slim pickings, guys. Let's see, FS19. Who do we have out there? Anybody else? Missy B Modding is currently streaming for anybody interested there. Looks like Six Wheel. Yeah, Six Wheeling is out there as well. Ooh, I'm there with 27 viewers. Wow. Really? Have I got 27 viewers? Holy heck. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to raid Mamadou. Honestly, she is such a lovely lady, and if you guys haven't checked her out, you should. Oh, fudge, those ads just kicked in. I'm going to have to wait a minute or two to get past these ads. For some reason, they just kicked in. I just looked over and, oh my goodness. But yeah, thanks for everyone coming out today. Obviously, all the moderators, resubs and stuff. So while that's going off, I wish we can cancel it as well. We'll get this ready. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum. Mamadou, 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 doo doo. Where are you? Mama. Not Mama. Do. Yeah, she's currently got one person watching, so if you want something a little bit chilled out for today, please stick with us, guys. And bum ba dum ba dum. Just waiting on the ad counter to disappear. Still got another couple minutes there. Dang it, I was kind of hoping to get off before then. But anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Obviously, like I said, I will be back tomorrow morning with my daughter, hopefully, doing a bit of Jurassic World Evolution 2. So if you're into those sort of games, please pop in, say hi. I know it's going to be a bit early for you guys, but it'd be much, much appreciated. Oh, nice coffee as well. But I think I'm going to kick this raid off and get it going. So stick with us, give her some love, okay? I know a few of you have already checked her out. I've seen you lurking. I see everything, by the way. But yeah, she is a lovely, lovely lady. And let me mute that a sec. That is good. And I will see you tomorrow, guys.